mid-August garden and where we're at. I now have squash wrapping all the way to the front. These are butternut squash. Oh, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. Hold on. Oh. Okay. I do have a couple of the squashes just acting up, so I do have to look into that. I think it's bug related. I gotta actually go in this mess. So I'm just gonna go in order. The top is a mixture of cosmos, nursanthums, petunias, and both of those purple are the cosmos, marigolds, this bright blue. This is a borage plant that grew so tall it's falling over. And these are all peppers in between. A bunch of different types. I've got, hot, sweet, couple options. Ignore the sonic machine. I've got some fun ones in here, like some dark purple peppers. Deep in here. I wonder if I can kind of get in here. Lots of green peppers going through. A little Johnny jump up aisle. You can start to see into what was supposed to be a walkway that goes all the way down the garden that I completely covered in beans. These cosmos grew over 7 feet. They're huge. I was shocked when these cosmos turned up, these orange ones. That still surprised me. I thought all of them were going to be purple. I could not be happier with the petunias. There are squash plants that are actually growing so much that they're also going through here. I'm going to have to fix that because it's actually drowning a couple of pepper plants. My purple cayenne is doing another batch. We'll go to this side first. So tall. I did remove a couple of squash plants from over here. The scarlet runner beans are starting to sprout everywhere. I'll show the scarlet runners more on the other side. They're just so much clearer. This entire row is cucumbers and beans. Let me jump over to it. To get there, I have to go past my squash trees. Recently, I took all the leaves off, and I did this, which I really need to remove that squash. I cannot let that stay on. All right, we took the squash off. Let's get back in here. So this is my cucumber row. Now, of course, there's beans hidden in between all these two, by the way. And there's a couple squash plants on the end. I planted this for pollination. I was hoping that would help get more cucumbers. I never planted a couple of these. They just kind of popped up. This is that bean forest that I was talking about that is just outrageous. I really need to harvest some of this stuff. Sorry if you hear my neighbors. It's sweet Elysium. Has ground covered. I try to make all this stuff not so hot. Bear with me as I'm fighting mosquitoes too. So, get out of here. Here's the squash I just picked. I'll grab that at the end. Here are my tomato rows, which really need to be picked too because holy cannoli, are they all ripening around the same time. I'm a little shocked. These are coming out pretty cool because the yellow boys are pretty much ready too. Look how bright yellow those ones are. And I was shocked with, first off, how much fruit I've gotten. I've already gotten baskets filled, but the level of size I was impressed with. Here is a pumpkin plant. Of course, there's herbs hidden everywhere. That's, you know, helping. Bugs, pollination. This was filled with peas, but I've been taking them out. That's why there's this empty space here now. My sweet Elysium. And I've been slowly getting rid of this pumpkin because I'm already getting a crop out of it. This is pretty much ready to go. So, he'll go. Seriously, the sweet Elysium, I'm so happy here. This is an eggplant. This is starting to flower and create fruit. You can see all of my tomatoes. I'll get a little closer. A raspberry plant. I have no idea what type of squash this is. I think they're spaghetti squash. I don't really remember at this point. And you can see I've got a couple more squash trees started. You can see my tomatoes mixed with chamomile. Let me just get a little deeper. Oop, let's knock everything over. Happy tomatoes. Look at how large those beefsteaks are becoming. They're way larger than my hands. The tomatoes are starting to completely take over. Those are zinnias in between. A couple of these I didn't even plant. They just popped up. Carrots. They're way too close together, but, you know, they're still doing its thing. Oh, watermelon plant. These are the baby watermelons. There's a couple more over there. I have no idea what type of squash these are, but I love them. I think they're beautiful. Here's my big watermelon. I mean, big in relative to my hand. And here, the more you look to, you'll find more squash and another watermelon. I really need to prune these tomatoes. They're getting out of hand. Same for those basil flowers. They need to go too. They're all just kind of collapsing with weight. I still got to work through them. The Nerstanthums not only grew over here, they're now growing up and intertwining with the tomato, which makes me so happy. So many tomatoes that are ready. More squashes and zucchinis. And little butternut squashes hidden everywhere. This is another cucumber squash and bean row. And you can tell because the borage and dill are planted with it. Here's the dill, the yellow. The borage is the blue, and the scarlet runners are the red ones. Let me get a little closer. A lot of these I didn't even plant. They just popped up from last year, including this entire marigold plant. Same for these petunias. These need a little bit of love. Something's happening to this plant. I gotta figure out if it's a bug or what's related to it. Cucumbers are already aging. I'm gonna have to grab those before they kill the whole plant. It's surprising how much fruit I got from these this year. You can tell. That's why they're aging out a little bit. Beans in between. And really, I think that's the majority of what is beautiful. I don't think I have anything else going on. More of a close-up. And I think that's it. Or that's enough, truthfully. This is well worth the work.